I want to caution though against, you can't address absolutely everything in one singular draft. Like, I know that there is an urgency with the Bears because they've waited so long to be relevant again and to be good and for this to finally be the year. But it doesn't have to be the year this year. Their window is not this year or bust. And if you look at the way that Detroit built their roster under Dan Campbell and with Ben Johnson in charge of that offense, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't come along till the second year that Ben Johnson was at the helm. You needed to make sure that your offensive line could handle having a really dynamic running offensive backfield. And that was my biggest question going into this draft was like, all right, you remade pretty much like the entire interior of the offensive line, and you maybe even more than that, judging from this draft. But none of these guys have played together yet. So you don't actually know how well this is going to go. Like on paper, it looks great, but how many times have we said, "Oh, this roster looks great on paper. There's no way they can fail," and then they do.
Every year.
I don't think that it's really, yeah, exactly. So I think that there's no harm in, especially again, when you have a flexible play caller like Ben Johnson who can be productive no matter who the personnel is on the field, and he can exploit the strengths of everybody that's on the field playing for him. I do think that there's probably some value in seeing how this offensive line plays together, how, solid and how much of a foundation you can build with Caleb Williams behind this offensive line. And then you start adding the really fun, versatile, dynamic pieces that take this offense over the top. I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it until the season starts and you see it. I don't think this is going to look like a Ben Johnson offense right away, because you need to lay the foundation. You need to do all the boring stuff right first. And it's not going to be flashy and creative. I think it's still going to be productive, but I don't think it's going to look like what we saw in Detroit last year, even with different kind of weapons and all that kind of stuff. So I think that while it would have been nice to get a playmaker like Ashton Jeanty or a really good running back, I don't necessarily think that it was crucial, because you really need to see how some of these other pieces are going to fit and really, truly what kind of player this offense needs.